Good morning and welcome to Tuesday, January the 25th. The month is nearly over. I think next Monday is it, and we'll be off into February, the shortest month of the year. All of that's coming up. How are you today? Right now, we're starting out your day at around 45 degrees. We'll hit 54 before it's all said and done. We do have some light rain in the area, and we'll go to radar here in just a moment to kind of show you where everything is. That will end. It's a 50% chance through about 7 o'clock, so another 30 minutes left on that. Looking at radar, it could be a little bit later than that as it makes its way out. I think it'll be probably 8:30, 9 o'clock before it's totally gone. So we've got streets wet this morning, so keep that in mind as you're out and about. Don't slam on brakes. You'll go to sliding somewhere, and we don't want anything to happen to everybody. As we start this out, I do hope your day is well. Got a smile that kind of sets the tone for the day, so to speak, doesn't it? Few things went on last night. Have you seen this yet? The Fox News reporter that got called the ugly name by Biden on a hot mic. He did it. There's no doubt. I've watched the video several times, and he just said it. No filter there, is it? I did find out that later on after that Joe did call him, and I don't know if you would call it an apology, but he did acknowledge that he done it and told him that they needed to move forward. It was no harm intended, and it was what it was. I don't know how you feel about that, but should the president do that? Whoo, boy. Just such a hot mess there in Washington. That's one of the big headlines that's happening today. That was everywhere. And if you've kept up with what's going on with Joe Rogan does a morning show, and it's based, I think, out of L.A., and it is pretty much carried on Spotify, and it's on the internet like what I do. His is a lot bigger. It's a nationwide show, and I think he got like $100 million to put his show on Spotify. Well, Neil Young is asking that, telling Spotify rather that he's gonna pull his music off of there if they don't cancel Joe Rogan. And Joe Rogan, of course, has said some things against COVID that he doesn't like. They even had it out that 270 doctors had signed this thing to have him removed off there because he was giving misinformation. And after you got into the 270 doctors, they weren't medical doctors. They were counting dentists and veterinarians as doctors, not medical doctors. So it's not everything that it shows or seems. We'll see what happens. Y'all remind me, Neil Young, wasn't there a song that said, we don't need him around anyway? Anybody remember that? Just thought I'd throw that out there this morning. All right, as we begin this day, I think a lot of us watched the TV show Jack Bauer, 24. Do y'all remember that? One of the characters that came on, let me show his pictures here. This was, that didn't work right, did it? Yeah, there it is. This guy right here. If you remember, he became a character on there. He's an actor. And as we learned this morning, his son had joined the military, 26 years old, and from what all accounts say, has committed suicide. The actor's name is Michael Madison. He's been in a lot of movies and different ones. You've seen him with different parts, but they were saying that his son most likely committed suicide from a gunshot wound. Sad news on that. That's part of what we're waking up to today. And then also, this went on with the USS Carl Vinson. Have you seen this in the South China Sea, where an F-35 was attempting to land, crashed? The pilot ejected safely, but they did have 7 sailors that were injured on this. I think 3 were taken off of it to a hospital. I don't think they were life-threatening, but they needed some more medical attention than there on the boat. So everybody so far, it seems, ended up okay on that. But that did happen there. I don't know what went haywire, but if you've ever watched anything of the actual video of a plane coming in, especially from the cockpit, it looks like a little ant. And you guys that fly these jets know that more than I do. But it looks like an ant in the sea, and they come in hot. The wire catches it, and something went wrong. So, fortunately, nobody was hurt on that. And this comes out of Florida. Let me see the name of this company. Panama City, Florida is where this was put out. The financial website Wallet Hub. Anybody ever heard of that? Well, I had not until this morning. And they ranked all the states in the Mississippi, in the nation, as to where the best place to raise your family. I think they listed all these different categories and let's see here. The number one place, according to them, to raise your family would be Massachusetts. Guess who they ranked as last? It would be us, Mississippi. Always a picking on us. Well, I raised my family here. It seemed pretty good. How about y'all? I never had any problems with it. Oh, sure, we don't have all the opportunities that some of the big cities do, but it is, for the most part, a nice, quiet place to grow your family, go to church on Sunday, and teach your family right from wrong. So I have nothing against Mississippi. That's just their thoughts there. So that's some of the headlines that are going across America this morning. I see Joyce Godwin is up. Lamar Hembry, how are you? Hope all is well there. LaWanda Grantham, Milton Savell, Mike Dallas, also Janice Bounds. Chet Parker joins us this morning. How are you? Connie Johns, Rachel Grapple. Also, let's see, Teresa Gerard. How are you? Pat and Jim Coker, Joyce Snowden Godwin, Danny Bryan, Denny. Whoops. Made a typo there, didn't I? Charlie and Gaddy, how are you? And let's see, Janie Bertel, glad to see you up as well. Let's see, Rachel said she moved here from New York. A lot better here. I agree with you. Again, we don't have the fastest this and the 5G of this or whatever it is, and sometimes you have to drive a little bit further to get something. But overall, Mississippi, Alabama, these areas here are a great place to grow up. You really learn values. And regardless what surveys say, like anything else that they hype in the news from time to time, it's not as bad as you think. If you're watching from some other part of the United States, come on down. There's a reason that when people retire, they want to move to the South. It ain't bad. Trust me on that. All right, let's take a look at radar. Just find out what's going on here in Mississippi and Alabama as we go across this, and we'll look at the nation. As we pull this up this morning, we do see that here locally, the state of Mississippi, look here, we've got showers coming across. None of this is heavy, but if you're out and about in it, you need to drive a little bit slower. You'll slide around, have an incident, and have to go visit Chet this morning, have a little paint and body work done. As we look at Lauderdale County, it's hit and miss here. We have more showers in the West Lauderdale area here at the Kemper County line as it creeps across. And let's turn on some locations where you'll see exactly what's going on here. This reaches all the way up to Waholic there at the Baptist Church by the railroad track. All of Scuba, across Scuba Tech, they're getting light showers. And back over to the Cleveland area, getting a little break there as we go to Preston, but southward toward Lauderdale County. The line right now is Highway 494 cutting across there just before you get out to Center Hill area there and across where the old telephone place used to be, and taking in NAS Meridian this morning with light showers. This means that roads are slick. As we look at our friends over here at Livingston University, they're getting wet this morning all along 17 there and 59. Up to Kim Waste. All these areas are joining Scuba and Highway 17. As we come on down Clark County, the western side getting some showers there. From downtown out at Archusa back west, all the way as we make our way into Jasper County. But again, none of this is heavy. Newton County, you got a few showers also, but nothing's heavy. That's the good news I can tell you this morning as we glance at all of this here. As we back out, we are showing some fog across Texas, Victoria, Texas, up to San Antonio. If you're going to be out near the Alamo, all that's going to be kind of foggy and hard to see down to Corpus Christi and Laredo, right there at the border. Heavy fog there. As we come across Florida, getting some showers there. St. Petersburg going to get a little bit heavier rain as we back out and move up through here. New York, Washington, D.C., all good. Just kind of cold there. We do have this snow moving across right here as we zoom in on this through Kansas. And as we look at that, 19 degrees there. We come across 23. It's always colder the further north. You go toward this Canada line up here, and it gets real bad. Nebraska sitting at 29 this morning. And we go into South Dakota. We're looking at 2 degrees. And we get into Bismarck. Let's just check out Bismarck, North Dakota. Oh, yeah. Negative 8 degrees this morning. As we jump to the top there, negative 17 degrees. Negative 20 there in McGregor. And all of these areas, and I really, because I've never been in this, seriously, how do you function in weather like that? Does your dog ever get to go out and go to the bathroom? Gosh bless them. It has to be rough to live in that. Maybe your body gets accustomed to it after a while. I just cannot imagine all that. But that's what you've got there. And as you're going out to Portland, Oregon, and those areas also, they got some fog this morning. But a quick look across the nation of what's coming. Now, we have colder weather coming That's absolutely sure. We've had this little warming spell with this rain that came across. As I mentioned, 45 right now. When you wake up in the morning, it's going to be totally different from that. Let's dig into what the National Weather Service has to tell us this morning all about this and what we should expect over the next few days. Oh, that's coming up. Yeah, there we go there. Let me pull this up where everybody can take a look, and let's get deeper into the weather.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we go back and look at these highs and lows, 1950, it was 81 degrees, probably going into what most would say was some of the greatest times across America, the 1950s, an age of innocence. We got the 57 Chevrolet and the 56 out of that. That's pretty good, isn't it? As we look at today, the coldest day was 63 with a record low of 11 degrees. Bitter cold day there. As we look at what we've got today, let's pull this up where you can also see this. Clouds, this should be ending here in just a little bit as they forecasted it at 7. I'm going to give it a little bit longer of that light rain getting out of the area. But we're looking for a high of about 51 degrees, 51 to 54 today as we look at this. Jackson should get about 52. As we look at the edge of Alabama, we'll get all the way to 56 in Tuscaloosa, Demopolis, and there at Livingston, Alabama, a little bit warmer than the Meridian area there. Northward into the state, we'll get 48 there in Hamilton, Alabama, if you're going to be in that. And the southern portion of the state are more likely to get more showers than it is the northern part of Alabama. So nothing bad in any place in Alabama, though. That's the good news that we've got to tell you. So what's happening? As you see this, we're a little bit warmer. That 6-day temperature outlook there. We'll have that dip tonight. We'll look here at the forecast and give you your 7-day outlook and on into February to warn you what's ahead of you. Yeah. All right, let's do that. Let's go into our 7-day forecast today. And as we break this down, we turn to today and what our highs are. We're getting a 20% chance of rain, 50% chance of rain through 7. And we'll get cloudy and a high of about 53 to 54, depending upon where you are on that map. As we get to the night, we go back from 45 this morning to 28 tonight, overnight. Not any better tomorrow. We'll only get into the 40s tomorrow with a low of 26 on Wednesday night. So that brings about Thursday morning, bitter cold as you get ready to go to work. By Thursday, we're a little warmer, 57, 34 for that low, and then back to those 40s. And look at these lows for Friday and Saturday night. Really all the way through Sunday, it's going to be below freezing. We've got 24 degrees on Friday night, 25 on Saturday night, and then we're right at that freezing degree mark on Saturday. On Sunday morning there as we go back to work. Cold over the weekend. So be prepared for that. Make sure that you've got those pipes wrapped. I've said it many times. All those pets are taken care of. Now, so we've got colder weather right here. Highs finally getting back to the 50s as we get back over here near Monday. As we jump on into February, we'll see some 60s, and with every chance of rain, that temperature shoots, and we've got that happening here on Wednesday the 2nd as we get into February. We'll get up to 68, 67. It's always kind of spooky during these winter months for those temperatures to rise like that. We'll watch that. Should any severe weather break out, we'll go live and give you that street-by-street coverage so that you'll know exactly what happens. But something to watch for as we move into February there. And then we'll kind of balance out with upper 50s there. Nighttime lows right around 40. So that's the outlook as we move from here to February. It's a cold weekend ahead of us. So be prepared, whatever you're doing. Make sure that you've got hay for the pets and pipes are wrapped and you've got your electric blanket kind of handy. Never hurts if you hadn't walked by your gas tank in a while. If you run off butane tank, read that little gauge in there to see how much you got. Hate for you to run out. Those are never good. What is the outlook today for deer season? Well, as we go to the chart, it says good. That's not bad at all. Now, we will have a light north wind increasing 5 to 10 miles an hour today. As we look at these, the major times, kind of late. But it gives us an overall look that today should be good. As we look at temperatures going to be dropping for tonight, that afternoon hunt is when I'd want to be there if I were going. So keep that in mind. Maybe you'll get a big one there. Hope so. We'll check in with Jay's Taxidermy and find out more about this as we get near the end of deer season and all the prizes. Boy, it's been a year, hasn't it? And this is, I hate to admit it, this is the year that I've hunted less ever in my life. Oh, well, I got cold once. I'm getting better. I got the itch. I'm starting to want to go now. It's a lot of fun there. JT Rigdon is up. Good morning. Terry Ray, good morning. Gilbert Gaddis, morning from Arundel. Hope everything's well out there on y'all street there. Have safe travels, Robin Miller says there, and keep warm. And always with this, as we watch all of this in other states, we don't have a lot of bad weather here, but it doesn't hurt to keep your little bag in your car. Some chips, some nabs, and things of that nature there in case something were to happen. A couple bottles of water. You never know. Never know where you'll be traveling and be hung in your car and can't get anything. As we watched all those people a few weeks ago, rather, in, what was that, Virginia, I-95, where it got shut down. You can't be prepared enough. Just watch all that weather there. We're pretty good for now, but we'll watch it as we get into this. Now, we're going to be back live, in about an hour and 14 minutes, we'll go live. Candace is back this morning. We'll tell you all the goings-on in and around the state and our area to let you know. Please join us. You'll enjoy it. We'll might even make a friend before it's all said and done. We've got a lot of great stories on the way, and we can't do it without you. We'll see you soon. All right, here at Scotty Ray's Weather. Back in just a little while. Again, right now, 45 as you wake up with light rain. Leave early and drive a little bit slower. Watch those brakes this morning. See you soon.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by